You won't believe what a group of rescuers found when they attempted to help a dog in need. But when they finally reached the injured animal, what they discovered under its fur left them frozen in terror, their hearts racing. What was hidden beneath? This is where the nightmare begins to eye in the distance. The sound of crunching boots echoed through the silence of the forest. A small team of rescuers, dressed in heavy winter gear, trudged forward, their breath visible in the freezing air. The snow was thick, making each step harder than the last, but they pressed on, determined to save the animal they had been called to rescue. The dog they had been told about was a German Shepherd, a breed known for its loyalty and intelligence. But this one was different. A report had come in about a dog trapped in the snow, visibly injured and in distress. The rescuers were told it might be hurt, but something in the back of their minds told them it wasn't just the cold that had made the animal uneasy. As they approached the area where the dog was last seen, an eerie quiet filled the air. No sound, just the endless expanse of snow and the trees. As if the forest itself was holding its breath, the team halted for a moment, scanning the area. They could see no sign of the dog at first, but the tracks were unmistakable. A faint trail of paw prints in the snow led them forward, their eyes scanning the terrain. They exchanged wary glances, each of them feeling a strange sense of foreboding. Whatever lay ahead, it was no ordinary rescue. Something didn't feel right. But there was no turning back now. They finally spotted him, a large German Shepherd, lying low to the ground under a cluster of snow-covered branches. His fur was matted and dirty, his eyes wide with fear. The rescuers took cautious steps forward, careful not to startle him, but the dog remained motionless. There was something unsettling about the way he stared at them. Too still, too quiet. Normally, a dog would wag its tail or move at the sound of human voices, but this one just watched them, his body tense as though waiting for something to ask the lead rescuer. Alex took another step closer. The dog let out a low growl, a warning. That wasn't lost on the group. He seemed to be protecting something, or perhaps hiding something. But what? The growl was sharp, and the low rumble echoed in the otherwise silent forest. Alex stopped, holding up a hand to signal the team to halt. He needed to assess the situation. Something wasn't adding up. One of the other rescuers, Sophie, whispered. He's scared, but I don't think he's dangerous. Still, the way the dog's eyes followed their every move made Sophie second-guess her own words. Alex knelt down slowly, trying to speak in a calm voice, hoping to reassure the animal. It's okay, buddy. We're here to help, he said, gently. But the dog didn't move, only watching, his growl deepening. It was as if the dog knew something they didn't, and that unsettled them more than they could admit. Alex motioned for the team to move in closer. He knew they needed to gain the dog's trust if they were going to help him. But even as he took another step forward, a feeling of unease settled over him. The dog remained perfectly still, only his eyes shifting to follow every movement. Alex took a deep breath and extended his hand, speaking in a soothing tone. It's all right. We just want to help you. The German Shepherd flinched at the sound of Alex's voice, but didn't make a move to run. Sophie, another rescuer, knelt down beside him, her movements slow and deliberate. She tried to offer a soft, comforting gesture, but the dog's growls grew louder. The tension in the air thickened. Something wasn't right. If the dog was truly injured, why was he reacting this way? Sophie glanced at Alex, her brow furrowed. He's not just scared. He's hiding something. Alex's heart raced as he processed her words. Hiding something? He hadn't considered that possibility, but now it made sense. The dog's behavior was more than just fear. It was defensive, territorial, almost as if he was guarding something. Careful, Alex warned the others. They had come to save the dog, not to put themselves in danger. Slowly, Alex crouched lower, reaching out with his hand, the warmth from his fingers barely able to cut through the cold air. The dog's growls turned into an unsettling snarl, his body tense, ready to strike. The rescuers halted, unsure of how to proceed. It was as if the dog was signaling that whatever he was hiding was not meant to be uncovered. Suddenly, the dog lunged forward, but instead of attacking, he collapsed, his body giving way to exhaustion. Alex rushed to him, his heart pounding. Hey, it's okay. We're here, he murmured, his fingers brushing through the matted fur. That was when Alex noticed it. a strange lump beneath the dog's coat. It wasn't just a wound. It was something far stranger. His mind raced. What could it be? What was the dog hiding, and why was he trying so desperately to protect it? Alex's hand hovered over the strange lump beneath the dog's fur. His heart raced with unease, a gnawing sense of dread filling his chest. What had caused this? Was it an injury, or was it something worse? He swallowed hard and carefully pulled aside the fur. The moment his fingers touched the cold, matted hair, he knew something wasn't right. The lump wasn't just a wound. It was something far more alarming. It felt unnatural, like a foreign object embedded beneath the dog's skin. Sophie, standing beside Alex, leaned in closer, her eyes wide with disbelief. "What is that?" she whispered, her voice trembling. Alex didn't answer. Instead, he pulled more fur back, his breath shallow. He could barely process what he was seeing. Underneath the dog's fur, something twisted and unnatural began to emerge. It wasn't just an injury, it was something else. A dark, horrifying mass seemed to be moving beneath the dog's skin, like something trying to break free. Alex recoiled for a moment, his hand instinctively pulling back. Sophie let out a sharp gasp. "Oh my God," she breathed, her eyes glued to the sight before them. The mass shifted, and for the briefest of moments, Alex thought he saw something almost human, an arm, a hand, reaching out beneath the dog's fur. It was wrong, impossibly wrong. The dog whimpered, his body trembling, as if he could sense what they were seeing. The rescuers froze, unsure of what to do. Every instinct told them to run, but the dog was too weak, too vulnerable. Alex looked to Sophie, his face pale with shock. "We need to get him to safety," he said, his voice low and unsteady. But as he spoke, the mass beneath the dog's fur seemed to shift again, more violently this time. A deep, guttural growl escaped from the dog, his eyes now wide with terror. Something was desperately trying to escape, and whatever it was no longer just a threat to the dog. Alex felt his blood run cold. He had never seen anything like this in his years of rescue work. What was hiding under the dog? And why? Had the animal been so determined to keep it a secret? The answer was terrifying, and they had only just scratched the surface as Alex slowly backed away from the dog. He couldn't shake the feeling that they had just uncovered something far more dangerous than they had ever imagined. The rescuers stood in stunned silence, the weight of what they were witnessing pressing down on them like an unseen force. The lump beneath the dog's skin continued to shift, moving almost independently, as if it had a life of its own. Every instinct screamed at them to run, but they couldn't look away. They were trapped, both by fear and by the horrific reality of what was happening right before their eyes. Sophie stepped forward, her voice trembling. "What the hell is that? It looks like it's alive." Her words hung in the air, and Alex could barely process them. Alive? What kind of twisted creature could be lurking beneath the skin of a dog? Was it an infection? A growth? Or something else entirely? Alex's mind raced as he tried to make sense of the impossible situation that he knelt closer, carefully trying to examine the mass without disturbing it further. The dog's breathing was ragged, his body twitching involuntarily as the lump seemed to grow, pulsing beneath his fur. It was clear now, whatever it wasn't just under the skin. It was deep inside the dog's body, lodged there like a parasite, feeding off him. Alex's stomach turned. He felt as if he were about to be sick. The dog had been hiding something that had been feeding on him for God knows how long. Suddenly, the mass beneath the fur moved again, but this time, it wasn't just a shift. The dog let out a blood-curdling scream, unlike any sound Alex had ever heard. It wasn't the sound of an animal in pain. It was the sound of something trying to escape. With a terrifying jerk, the mass began to break free from the dog's body, tearing through his skin as it writhed and twisted like a living nightmare. The rescuers screamed in shock, stepping back as they realized what they were witnessing. The dog's body convulsed violently, the lump now fully exposed, and it was worse than anything they could have imagined.